And good morning. We have a ton of rain coming down at the moment. I thought we would take a look at radar, go over a few of the areas of what's going on. We have no warnings for the actual area. It doesn't change the fact we can't see the road in a lot of places. So let's go over to radar at this point and pull this up to let you know what it's doing where you live and all that's going on this morning. There's a lot happening here as we look at this. Look down in Clark County. We have several storms that are developing here. Now, again, none of these have caused a warning as of yet, but boy, right on top of Quitman right now. Let's look at this storm that is on y'all. This is going to be in Quitman in 3 minutes. Now, it's already raining there, but the eye of this storm will reach y'all. Sykes, you'll have this in 17 minutes in Middleton in about 20 minutes. With that, a lot of rain coming down. A lot of wind gusts. We'll look at your wind gusts in a moment. And behind this, now this is not over, is why we started here. We look here to Ellisville around Laurel. This is coming northeasterly. Enterprise, y'all are going to have a lot of rain and upset with this heavy stuff that's on the way. Also another storm that we're looking at that's out to the west, southwest of Pachuta at this point. Lake Edens, these areas here, raining heavy there, but we got another storm that is coming across, and as you see, it will reach Enterprise, in about 30 minutes from now. So, y'all be just a heads up on this. Again, nothing, no warnings have been issued for these areas, but there's a lot developing here, and we want to stay ahead of the curve so you're aware of what's happening. Right here, let's look at this. West of Jay's Taxidermy, if you were to go down and take this route down Highway 18 at Harmony, right there, Harmony, Mississippi, there at the church, that is going to be a lot of rain. Some of the worst rain that we've got right there. So as we look at that, y'all keep that in mind. That's a heap of it coming down through there. The worst that we've got in Clark County right there. And as we zoom in on this, get New Oak Grove Church is where it's sitting at now, and then on top of County Road, I believe that's 281, right there where that comes in. That's going to run into Highway 18. That's the worst of what we've got in Clark County right now. We back out and we watch this. A lot of rain just to the west of Quitman there at the co-op. Rain is starting to move in, but out just to the west of you, a little bit worse there as we look at this. And again, that'll be there in just a little while as we look at that. Now let's back out and move up and look at Lauderdale County of what we've got going on here. The overall picture is not a lot going on other than some heavy rains in southern Lauderdale County and the eastern side on Tunsuba. That could change as we watch this stuff develop here, but right now, no warnings. Just a bunch of heavy rain. As I look out my window, it's extremely dark here in the studios this morning. Now let's back out and see what else we've got going on across the street. Linden, Alabama, some heavy showers headed y'all's way as well. And if you'll notice, there's more back down in here. Now again, this area still under a 3. Let's go here and look at our severe weather as it's forecasted for today and turn this on. And we still have this area as a level 3 all through here. And as you can see there, through the outline of that, that's where the storm is coming across. We'll get a little break, and then there could be another set of this a little bit later on this afternoon as well. But we're going to have continued rain between now and 4 is what we're looking at. Again, it could be more later on. Let's turn that off, and let's look at the rest of the state, what we've got going on. Well, we did have a brief tornado warning earlier, and it was gone just about as quick as it came for Wayne County in this area here. It lasted about 10 minutes. The National Weather Service then canceled that. We go up around Starkville right now, and it's been a lot of rain in Starkville that pushed through here. No damage. We got some severe thunderstorm warnings that have been issued here as well, but nothing bad at this point. Fortunately, so far, the state of Mississippi has been blessed. I did see that, let's see here, there was in Eupora, Mississippi, a tree was knocked down from wind on a power line. That's in North Mississippi, Eupora up there. Again, nothing in our area. As I mentioned, we do have a lot of wind going through the area. Let's go in here and let's just take a look here of what we've got with wind gusts right now. Anybody interested in that? Let's pull that up and show you what we've got. Here's Meridian. Wind gust blowing through the area at about 33 miles an hour right now. We go south, and let's follow this down through Enterprise in these areas here. Enterprise, y'all have got 32 mile an hour, 33 mile an hour gust. We go to Stonewall, about 31. In downtown Quitman, we're looking right now as this storm approaches y'all, about 35 mile an hour gust. Pretty strong, isn't it? That is. Now, let's look at, while we're sitting there, let's just look at the actual sustained winds of about 14, 15 miles an hour in equipment, gusting up to 36. That's pretty strong there. Let's go back and look at our wind gusts one more time and look at that across the area. Over in Pachuta, y'all are looking at about 34 as we come across here, and we're going to show Lake Edens area about 34 miles an hour gusting. We move up, back along on this. Let's look at our friends over here in the Chunky area, about 36, pretty strong there as well. Over to Hickory at 33. Newton, about 34. When we go up Highway 15, we'll get to about 33 right there at Decatur. As we move on up through Union, Mississippi, gusting pretty good there, and 38 mile an hour gust there. We follow 15 on up. Let's just go on into Philadelphia as we look at this. It slowed down a little bit there, but Philadelphia is still at 34. We cut across, and let's go over as you follow Highway 16. Now, pay attention to this. If you're traveling Highway 16 now, as this goes east to west, gusty winds, you know how it is in an SUV. Y'all hold on to the steering wheels pretty good. DeKalb having those gusts of about 29. We got 25 in Scuba, and we go northward up through Sugarlock, 29, Macon, Mississippi, about 29, and all the way up to Brooksville, sitting at about 31. We go over to Louisville. Y'all have gusts of about 35 miles an hour. And the further north you go, Stark Vegas, we're looking at 36, and Columbus Air Force Base, 31. As you'll see that, see how that wind's blowing up through there? It's a lot in the area as we watch all of this. Now, again, I don't have any warnings, but this is just one of those things. We've had a lot of rain happening. Now, off to our east, let's bring this up. Let's go back to radar. To our friends in the Alabama area, let's cut across here. Demopolis, Alabama. There is a tornado warning that has been issued for y'all. Let's go over and take a look at this as we move over here to Demopolis. The National Weather Service in Birmingham issued a tornado warning for central Marengo County, Perry County, and Hale County in west central Alabama. Radar just a moment ago indicated a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Jefferson or near Demopolis, moving northeast at 45 miles an hour. Again, radar indicated rotation. No one has spotted it on the ground, but it does show that it has all the signs of what could become a tornado. As we look at this right around the Demopolis area, as you zoom in on this, here's Demopolis. Look at here. We got a storm that's moving in on that area. This should reach Demopolis in 13 minutes if you're in that area along that line. Another storm just across the river there as we look at this, moving toward Port Royal, and will be at Melton, Alabama within 20 minutes. We watch this area closely, though. A tornado warning issued until 12 high noon. 45 minutes remaining on this for our friends in the Demopolis area there. South of there, if you live or hunt around that area around Myrtlewood, you're going to have some storms blow through there in a little bit also. But look at the rains that we've got. Now, I know that y'all are seeing this. As Mary said, it's getting hammered right now. It is. We want y'all to be careful of that. Heavy rain equipment, Libby is telling us as we look at our screen. Janice says not bad in Union, as radar does show that. It's all calm there at the moment as we go up and just glance through here what everybody's posting. Enterprise still good and clear at this point. It's got rain, but nothing horrible. Dot, thank you for joining us there. Will Wright Road without power. We'll check here in just a moment here to pull up our power outages across the state. As Alicia Fisher says, her power has been without for about 15 minutes. Dixie, how are you doing there? Listening in zero. Glad to have you back in town, by the way. So good to see you back with us. Coming down in the equipment area, we keep getting that snail getting hammered now. Let me go back here and make a quick adjustment. We're going to look at what's going on locally with power, and then we're going to go to the national level also, the entire state. And I say national, I say state. Let's go over and take a look at EMEPA, and it's quite a few people without power right now. Let me get my button so that y'all will be able to see this. And as we pull this up, let's go here and so y'all can see what I'm seeing there. All right there, as we zoom in, let me hit this button here. We got about 400 people here south of town without power. As we zoom in on this radar here, this is on the eastern side, southeast of Meridian. Look at that. Long Creek area, a whole bunch of you. Now, again, most likely a tree is falling on a line somewhere in these areas is what we're looking at. they'll have crews as soon as it's safe for them to roll. So a huge power outage right here. And if y'all are watching in that area, keep us posted on what you've got with power outages and if you get it back on there. We'll get in touch with Julie here in just a little bit and see what EMEPA has. And we do have some more power outages here. The Enterprise area, just north of Enterprise, rather. Here's Enterprise. It's going to be just north of there as we zoom in here. Let me lean in on that. It's going to be Point Juanita Lake Road is where the power outage is on that. So we've got not many people on that area without power, but still, it's without power in these areas. So we watch that. We'll keep a close eye on this. We do have one up in this area here in Noxubee County, Noxapater area, which you would go north of Highway 19. It's going to be in Neshoba County is what this is, due north of Arlington there on 395, I believe is what that road is. If I'm looking at, 395 in that area right there. Not bad, but a small power outage in that area. All right, let's pull back and pull over here and let's look at the state of what we've got with power outages going on statewide. As we pull this up, here's a map of the whole U.S. as we look at Alabama, about 959. The state of Mississippi, we have 3,000 people without power in the state. As we pull this up, as you'll see down in here in Perry County, this is below us where they've been really getting hammered this morning. You've got about 169 without power, 117 here in Covington County, and you get more into these areas here, 500 there. Lauderdale not showing up with what reality is. They're showing 30 there. The maps have not caught up. A lot more in Union County up here in the northern part of the state as well. So a brief look at that. Let's pull back up radar. I don't want something to sneak up on us. As we pull this up, we do have a newly issued flash flood that has just been issued out, flood warning for the area. As we pull this up for you to take a look at, the National Weather Service has issued a flash flood warning for Clark, Jasper, and southern Lauderdale County at 11 o'clock or 11:18. Doppler radar indicated a thunderstorm producing heavy rain across the warned area. The expected rainfall is about 2 inches within 1 hour. Now, did y'all pay attention to that? That's a lot of rain, up to 3 inches within a 1 hour period. So we could have flash flooding in this. Areas that will be affected by this, of course, Quitman, Sykes, the Zero community, all of these areas through here. That's what we got. And if you heard that little ding in the background, that is Clark County texting me that they also are included in that. Now, as we look at this, we watch our friends here in Demopolis. Y'all have this tornado warning here. And this is what's causing all of this right here. This is moving off to the northeast. If you're out in the Wyandotte area, southeast area, it is buckets of rain coming down on you. South of town, if you're traveling out past the Evangel Temple, Highway 45, going to be hard to see. We want y'all to be extremely careful in those areas there. James Gully watching us. We do appreciate that. Terry Ray, still at work. Philadelphia area, as you'll see there on the map, you're okay, Terry, at this point. Only right here on 19 coming out of Lauderdale County there around Highway 491 does it have any bad rain at this point. All this looks like it's going to drift. Now, could this go a little bit northward in a little bit? That's possible. We'll watch it, though, and let you know, but y'all are all safe in downtown Philadelphia at this point. As we look at DeKalb, Scuba coming down right now. We do have some showers creeping up. Let's turn on locations to show y'all a little bit closer of what we got. The Damascus area, as we go up 495 out from West Lauderdale High School and go north of there for the volunteer fire department. There's a lot of rain there. Cut shy, and there's just light showers on 16 in between the county line to downtown DeKalb. Now, just north of DeKalb, you'll see that we got a lot of rain coming down at Kemper Lake right now. Not the time to be fishing. Y'all hold off on that. Showers heavy around Cyples Mills, and also as we get to Linville, Preston area, a lot of rain. We look here at 493 also as you come up and follow this and go past the coal plant. A lot of rain in between you and 495, and we show that we got some heavy showers there at New Hope. There's the volunteer fire department at New Hope as we cut across the county. Not bad over the Cowboy Church. You'll hit the rain as you go past the Chicken Shack, and you get right up there about where the wood yard used to be at Sukanachi. From there into Scuba, it's going to be heavy rain out to Giles and those areas. All of Baca Valley area is dumping rain on y'all. As you get over near the edge of Alabama, and we look at our friends here on Highway 17, Kim Waste, pouring rain from all the empty buildings there in Geiger, Alabama, all the way over to that little two-lane road to Gainesville, Alabama there at the river. A lot of rain coming down in those. Be careful in those areas. Just north of Livingston, Epps, those areas there, a lot of rain. In Cuba, as we see here, as we come down southward here, we got a lot of rain right there at McElroy. McElroy Trucking, when you get off Cuba Timber in that area, a lot of rain. As we look at that. Now, we go back over and we check on our friends here in the Demopolis area. 2 storm cells that have prompted a tornado warning right on top of Demopolis. Now, you need to seek shelter if you're in the Demopolis, Alabama area, Marion, any of these places that we're showing here, especially if you live in the Lock 5 area, Oak Grove, Cedarville, Whistlet, Rosemary, those towns there in Alabama. You need to seek shelter now and get to your place, as we have a tornado warning that is affecting you until high noon today, as we look at that. Now, it means we're about 35 minutes remaining on that storm. All right, let's back out. Let's move back in here to Clark County, because Clark County, although it does not have a thunderstorm or tornado warning, flooding right now, as we see there in Wynot. You can probably barely see the volunteer fire department out in Wynot or the racetrack. It's so heavy there. Let's zoom in on this. This line of the flash flood warning, as we have here, cuts right through the parking lot there at the Evangel Temple. Y'all watch that area as you come up there. And again, it's 2-lane there. We've had some bad wrecks in between there and that major highway. The further east you go from Stuckey's Bridge out here to Dunn's Fall, the further east you go, the heavier it gets as we get to where the Clarkdale Superette is, where the high school is, and where the clinic is, right along in there, and even down to Matthews Peaches. It's going to be heavy rain. We cut across there and we come out zero area here, out by the Girl Scouts, Long Creek ball field. But boy, look at this rain that is picked up at Causeyville. Now, this stretch from about where the Boy Scouts is, it really picks up right there at the Red Fireworks Barn at Southeast High School, and all the way on that 2-lane there on 19 when you get about where Camp Bonacci is. It's going to get a little bit heavier from there all the way to the Bama state line. It'll be hard when you pass where Old Mars Manufactured Homes used to be. And when you get right there at Wynot where the racetrack is and that little convenience store, it's going to be even hard to see that road. If you're in town, I highly suggest waiting it out and not traveling that 2-lane road for a little while, just to be on the safe side. We don't want you caught up in this and losing control of your car with these heavy winds that are coming down. It's dangerous. There's no other way to word that. Butler, Alabama, downtown at the courthouse, y'all are getting buckets of rain on you, even over at Pennington there. We come down. Let's go back into Clark County and look at this of what we've got going on here. Now, here's Clarko State Park. If you're coming down Highway 45 after you pass Clarkdale High School and you get to about right there to where the state park is, just to the east of there, we've got a storm that's going to make its way to Alabama. It's going to cut across Middleton, Energy, and Snell, Hurricane Creek, right through there. And then this is going to be about 1 mile due east of where Wynot Motorsports Park is. I'm going to have to talk to Rodney about that. He's getting me tongue twisted, isn't he? This is going to cut right across the top of where the Snell Church is, right there at Energy. Careful in those areas as we watch that. Now, from this point here to over here in Wynot, that's 30 minutes from there, from Highway 19, from Highway 45 to Highway 19. That's a 30-minute travel time across there. As we look at downtown Quitman, it's pouring rain. As you're trying to come into town, if you're leaving Pachuta coming into town and you're following it there on Highway 512, when you get past the Pleasant Ridge Church right there, Pleasant Hill, all the way into the co-op to the other side out past Cooper's Chapel, 18. Look at that rain. All across there where Archusa is, it's pouring all the way down to the DeSoto area. Even over to where the landfill is, we got a lot of rain. And then due south of there, as we go down there, Highway 18 Harmony, that area there, pouring rain as well. And all of that is going to be in that warned area for a flash flood warning as we watch that very carefully. Now, we back out and we see that down in Seminary, we've got a lot of rain coming down. No warnings there either. This has been one of those they haven't fired off a lot. Demopolis, Alabama has been the area that has gotten our first tornado during this. Now, I did bring up briefly down here for about 12 minutes they had a tornado warning for Wayne County. It expired by 10:30 and was over and gone and out of the area. Thank good. 18 East, yards are flooding there, Noel said. Appreciate that. I see house there. See, thank you, Pat. I appreciate y'all watching there. Linda Jane, how are you doing? Good to see you up in Kemper County. They're pouring down south of Hickory and Newton County in those areas. Demopolis, as we brought up, still under a tornado warning. If you're watching this area right there, that's Demopolis, Alabama. There's a storm. As we look at this, it is now just to the south. It'd be due east of the city limits of Demopolis at this point. All this was radar indicated with the possibility of a tornado, and we look at that, and that moves across Oak Grove. Y'all will have this 8 minutes from now, 10 minutes at Casemore, Cedarville, Rosemary, Greensboro within half an hour, and all this here. But even around Demopolis, you still need to be in your safe place. It's not safe to come out just yet. As we look at it, here's Greensboro right here as this storm makes its way. Highway 43 area, Highway 80, Alabama 69, if you're on that road there. I want you to use your caution and be in your safe place. We want you to live to talk about this and go, oh, it wasn't anything. That'd be the best scenario, but that's our only tornado warning that we have. Now, as we look at this across Meridian, we do have a little bit of rain if you're coming in Meridian. This is a very cautious area as you get near the airport, right past the split there. We had a pretty bad wreck there last night. We had 2 people flown to Jackson the other morning when it was just damp right there. All of that area there is dangerous. As you get about at the end of the runway is where the rain is going to pick up as you go past that and make your way toward the next exit in town. This is Highland Park getting heavy rain, State Boulevard. Maybe that'll slow things down in that area of town. Now, as you get on the eastern side of town, it picks up there all the way out 19 to those areas there. Tumsuba, a little break now, but you'll have more. We hadn't talked much about Newton. Not a lot going on in Newton County or in Neshoba County, but as we look at this, Raleigh will most likely bring a little bit more rain to the Newton County area here in a little bit. 20 still slick. You have to leave town, Highway 15, and go due south as we come out of downtown Newton and follow this here. Again, here's Myers Processing. You get here past the interchange of South Main Street on Highway 15. You'll get right here, and that's where that rain picks up, down around, I believe you pronounce that Artie Church, Liberty Church Road. This area here is some of the heaviest rain that we've got in Newton County right now. So use caution in those areas also. I don't know what that was about. Hang on. Had a power blink is what we had. So I'll get that pulled back up. Those things happen. Don't know why. All right, we got radar back up now after a little power blink there. Let's pull it up where you can see this. Here we are. All right, let's go back in here and look at what we've got as the storm comes across. Clark County makes its way toward Lauderdale County. Let's look at this a little closer here. Now, again, as y'all are watching, we do appreciate each and every one of you posting what's going on in your area. It gives us a more real-time, on-the-ground feel for what we have. You hear wind, let us know about it. Now, we say this in these areas here. Let's look at this. Energy. Y'all be prepared. Within 3 minutes, you're going to have this storm on top of you at Energy. This will move forward right on into Hurricane Creek within 12 minutes and Yantlee, Alabama within a half an hour. That's just barely going to go into Lauderdale County. Let's turn on our locations as we look at this, all these points here. Right there, if you live around or near the Snell Volunteer Fire Department, the storm's going to pretty much go right across the top of the Volunteer Fire Department, head on toward Lauderdale County, and then into Alabama is the way it will go. A lot of rain there. Nothing major, but we still watch this as we update you with what's going on. No warnings. And let me back up and remind everybody on the Mississippi side, we have no thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings in the area. We do have a tornado warning that is here at Demopolis, Alabama. And we got something popping up here at Pennington. How many folks we got over here on the edge of Alabama? Now, warning has not been issued, but as we look at this, Myrtlewood, I've been there many times. Let's look at what's going on there. We have 69-mile-an-hour winds there on Alabama 69, Highway 69. This is going to be crossing Highway 514, these areas here. A pretty strong storm as we look at this. We pull up this 69 miles an hour as well with that. On the scale of 1 to 10, this is rated at a 4.2. This could build stronger, and if you'll notice, this is coming right behind this toward Demopolis. Now, what we want to move up, and let's go back over here into Marengo County in these areas that we were looking at near Demopolis. Just to the east of Demopolis, just north of Highway 80, y'all need to seek shelter now. We've got a lot of rain coming down on Highway 80. As we'll look at this, 58-mile-an-hour shear winds, that can do a lot of damage, whether that's an actual tornado or if it's just wind shear coming in across there. We look at this. Let's pull this storm up here. If this will, pull this and get on top of this storm here. This is rated at a 4.3 with 69-mile-an-hour shear winds. That's a lot of wind in there. And at any time with these storms, these things can dip down in a moment's notice. So we urge you, if you're anywhere near the Highway 80 area there, and as you'll notice, Demopolis is now out of it, and they've moved it just north of there. We're concentrating on this area right here around Highway 80. We want you to seek shelter now. Yellow Creek, this area where it crosses there. Fitzgerald Lake. Also, we'll look at that County Road 2, Hawk Drive. That storm is right on top of y'all in between there and 69. We have these a little bit further east down here. Let's look at this. That's going to be Allenville Cemetery. We look at this road right here. Here's Highway 80 that this juts off of where the post office is, Gilliam Post Office. It's a little cut-through road right here. That's going to be County Road 12, where it kind of splits there and comes down. Right here, we got this, and this is Pine Tree area as it cuts across it. 58-mile-an-hour shear winds with that. As we look a little bit closer to give you, that's Bethlehem Church. Now, as you'll look at this, this will come across, and this is going to come near that. Let's see here. That's Allenville Road is what road this is, and this is headed in that direction, Robin Lane, if you live here. And again, this is over on the edge of Alabama, what we're watching, and this is picking up severity here to come right behind all of this, the same area, Linden, Alabama. Y'all be prepared for a pretty strong storm. Again, we watch this to see if there's another tornado warning issued for that area there. We still got this over here. Greensboro, y'all are still under that threat at this point. Let's turn this off so we can see the big picture as we look back at Clark County in these areas. Again, still in Mississippi side, we only have the flash flood warning that has been issued for Lauderdale, Clark, and Jasper counties. Deanne, how are you doing? Good to see you there. Carmichael, Crandall area. I know exactly where y'all are. Hard rain we're picking up there. Joyce Gressett tells us on Chunky Duffy Road. Heather Neese, how are you? Good to see you there. Pennington, y'all be careful now. We'll come back over here and check on y'all in just a moment. For those of you who have kids, or if you're watching us from the Starkville, West Point area by Columbus Air Force Base, things are starting to calm down in that area. We do have some storms that are back building down here around Macomb as we watch these around Hattiesburg. They make their way across the county. Let's go back in here. Jasper County, Heidelberg area. Y'all have got tons of rain on y'all right now. Let's zoom in a little bit closer here. The Highway 11 area. Do y'all see that? Here's 59 where it kind of splits where exit 528 is, or you get on Highway 503 from there to Heidelberg down to Highway 11, 528. These areas here, it's hard to see, folks. That's at Valsburg, Heidelberg Road over by Shady Grove Cemetery. That's at Valsburg, Heidelberg Road, and what cuts County Road 64. Again, that's Jasper County is what we're looking at there. And that's right at the area coming in on Highway 11 as it comes into Clark County. All across the city, equipment still pouring rain. Pachuta getting a little break right now as you make your way up toward the Enterprise area. Stonewall, a brief moment of no rain or heavy rain at the moment. It's still raining, but not that heavy stuff y'all had just a little bit ago. We watch this northeastern corner here. Still not a lot of change with that. It's 8 minutes, Snell. As you look at these areas here, that right there, that's that Snell Volunteer Fire Department. The heart of it is going to go just about a half a mile due east of the Volunteer Fire Department. This puts this fan with less than a quarter mile when it comes into Lauderdale County, right past Why Not Motorsports Park. Let's go a half a mile past there from all the way to the Alabama state line. It's going to be rough for a little bit. Now, downtown Meridian is starting to get a break. It's starting to lighten up. We still have a little bit of rain out by Lost Gap. If you're out by Stuckey's Bridge, if you're anywhere around Dunn's Falls, still heavy rain in that area. Out at Greg's Fireworks, heavy rain. On out to the Long Creek Ball Field. If you're out anywhere near the Girl Scouts, where that is, a lot of rain there. Long Creek, y'all are still getting rain. And also here at the golf course, as you get to Lakeview, look at the rain around there, heavy. Now, as we go north of this line, you get out here by Freeman Tractor there. You got an area that you'll go through on Highway 494 and pick up a little showers there. At Rock Hill Church, boy, it's pouring there. But as we get into Collinsville, Church Road still got a little rain on it, and it kind of dips back and forth down in here where the storage buildings are. You get past West Lauderdale, when you get on in toward the Martin area, still heavy rain. Over by the elementary, lightening up. A little bit over by the Hughes Telephone Company, North Lauderdale, y'all are looking better. Lauderdale, y'all look good right now. You go south of there on over to Cuba, Alabama, still heavy rain there. You pick up at Toon-Suba there on I-20 as you go across toward Livingston. You'll get a break on the other side of York if you're traveling the interstate. South of Meridian right now, I don't suggest travel at all. Let's wait this out. It's not worth jumping out there that you got to, what's it going to hurt to be 20 minutes late, 30 minutes late? Let's hold off on any travel south of the city limits of Meridian for the time being. If you don't have to go, don't go. If you're sitting at home thinking, well, I got to be somewhere in 30 minutes, call them. Let them know you'll be a little bit late. It's just well worth it. For your safety wise. Now, as we move back over here in Alabama, we still got this tornado warning going on over here around Newborn. These areas here in Alabama there. Now, that will expire at high noon. That gives it 20 minutes left on this area. The intensity of it has died down a little bit. Let's zoom back in on this and see what our shear winds are on this. We're still picking up 58 right there. And then this second line, we're picking up 69-mile-an-hour shear winds with this storm. Again, here's Alabama 69. Here's Demopolis, Alabama, if you're watching and going, where am I on this? Here's Demopolis as we go east from there, and we get on Highway 69. This is going to be just due east of Highway 69 on the rural route where this is. And let's get out here and find out exactly where we are. This is going to be County Road 9. Just a half a mile off County Road 9 and due north of County Road 10, east of Demopolis out here is where this tornado warning is right now as it makes its way across the county. We do hope that it'll fade away. If you live on the area of county on Highway 25, you need to seek shelter now. If you live on 61 there in Alabama, you need to seek shelter now. And this is Greensboro. Y'all are still in this watch box area here. All roads leading into Greensboro, Alabama, seek shelter now. We want y'all safe and in all of those areas there without being harmed there. Alabama, north of there is going to be okay. Akron, as we go up near Union. Let's just back out and look at the big picture of what we Carrollton, Alabama, the face in the window there. Y'all got a lot of rain, but no horrible storms at this point. DeKalb starting to come down now as you get there to the four-way stop. As you go right on up toward Toonies, that area is there where Kemper Academy is, where West Kemper is. It's a lot of rain coming down there as well. Your travels from there to Philadelphia won't be bad, but we want you to use caution all the way into Philadelphia. Highway 16, one of the most dangerous, and Highway 15, one of the most dangerous roads that you'll ever travel. If you don't trust me, if you don't trust my opinion, ask Eric Clark about that. Ask him how many times in the highway patrol that they've gone out to wrecks where people lose control on those little roads. A little dip in the road during bad weather can cause an accident and a heartbeat. Not much going on as we go up to the northern portion of the state. Let's see here. Let's go back and check on our power outages of what we've got going on. Let's just go ahead and pull this up and see what we've got. Still a lot of power out in Lauderdale County. Let's go back in and look at this and zoom in on this. Still 400 here that we're looking at. And that's Russell area as we go down Highway 45. This is past the intersection. Here's Highway 19. It's going to be right along in here as we zoom in on here. Here's Sand Flat Road. This is going to be the East Fire Tower Road. This is where that power outage begins. Crosses Highway 19, and look at this, all the way out here at Will Wright Road. I know a lot of you were commenting a while ago about Will Wright Road not having power. James Parton Road, Murphy Road, where we had the murder happen in Meridian last week without power. And we follow out Highway 496. Look at that, how much power is out This crosses over right there, Old Wire Road. Y'all were without power as well. Nearly, that's a little over 400 right there without power. As we move back across here, and let's just look and see who else has got an issue. We've got some scattered stuff north of Enterprise here and down around Quitman, 2 people, and around Valsburg, about 6 people without power. As we look here just southeast of Lauderdale, Mississippi, if you follow this out, and this is, again, on the rural route as you get out here to Luther Cobb Road. We've got some folks without power there also. Let's back out here. And this is always a good indication. It tells us that some heavy winds came right through there and knocked some power out. As we move up here in Neshoba County, here's Stallo. And again, this is going to be out here just north of Marty Stewart Place, Arlington. We got one without power. Now, again, how power companies work, they're going to work on the large one and then make their way to you. As always, if you're watching, we got a few more without power, had some more added there. You see that? So with all that being said, when we talk about storms, always make sure that your generator is ready to go in case you need it. This is one of those days where it might just come in handy after all to have that by you. Let's go back over and let me check here. Hang on here. Let me make sure the National Weather Service hasn't said anything. I had that bump in power just a moment ago. Having to lean, if you're wondering what I'm doing there, to get up another screen. Took it just a second there to get that one back up. Let me get radar back up while I pull the rest of this, and y'all can be watching radar while I work on this other here. That's what we've got right there. Let me go back over and we'll see what I got going on over here. The latest update that I'm reading from the National Weather Service is, let me just read you what they're telling us. The potential for tornadic storms has lowered a lot. That's good news for all of us in the forecast area. The main area that is favored to have some will be the I-59 corridor in east-southeast of there. So this will put this down around the Hattiesburg area, Laurel-Hattiesburg area, having the largest potential for tornadic outbreaks. We will still have an environment with increasing instability for much of the central areas as we move into the afternoon. Lapse rates will get a bit steeper as we can see a larger scale lift move our way. The more likely severe weather concern will shift to hail and damaging winds throughout the afternoon. So maybe we're starting to get out of this tornadic edge that we've had here kind of cast over us, as they'll probably update those areas here in a little bit and let us know whether or not that's still continuing. Let me hit another button over here and see what else the National Weather Service is offering us. Pretty much the same. That they haven't changed anything yet. I would expect that they're still doing this wide assortment from 11 a.m. until 11 p.m. tonight, with the National Weather Service telling us as far as potential for storms. Flash flooding, one of the biggest ones, and as I mentioned a moment ago, heavy winds and hail is going to be the biggest concern that we have this afternoon. Billy Touchstone lets us know that the Cicalina area, chunky, getting some light rain at this point. As we look up here, NAS Meridian, everything looks good at NAS right now. No major issues going on at NAS Meridian up in this area here. If you'll notice here, it's all in the eastern side of Lauderdale County and that extreme northeastern corner of Clark County, probably getting some of the worst. Now, if you'll notice, we got an arrow showing here of a storm moving in from Heidelberg into Clark County. Let's look at that. No warning associated with this at this point, but ever moving in. As we look here, this will be at Nancy within 9 minutes. Harmony, you'll have this storm within 13 minutes. And downtown Quitman, you'll have this within 24 minutes as it makes its way toward downtown Quitman. And that's going to come across the railroad tracks right there behind the co-op is the direction that is headed. All right, let's see here. Let's go back up. Let's get a little bit closer view of what we've got there. Let's close that. We are seeing some heavier rain here in the Hickory area. Moved in on that on 20. Before, we didn't have that much going on there. As we turn on the locations, kind of let you know where and what is in between. Picking up there just back east of the Veteran Cemetery, along about there where the Red Goat is. That's where it's going to really pick up there at Hickory Picking in that area there, down to the Dollar General in downtown Hickory. A lot of rain there. That's going to carry all the way over here to Chunky. That stretch in between Chunky and Hickory, you're going to know that you're traveling through there. Now, and as I suggested earlier, if you don't have to leave right now, wait that out because this will pass. I-20 is always one of those that just holds so much water and it can jerk you off the road. We'd rather you wait and everything be okay. We're still showing as we go just south of town as you go out 22nd Avenue. A lot of rain there up by the Evangel Temple as you make your way on toward 45 toward the equipment area. A lot there. Getting a little break there on it's more about where structural steel is now at the industrial park there across from the airport, where you can see the gas stations on one side of the road as you're leaving the airport. On the right-hand side, as you make your way toward the Pilot over here, you're going to have more rain. That carries all the way out to the Ag Center, just south of town, following that area there. Highway 494 up to Church Road there on 19, about where Cicalina is, where you take a left off of Highway 19 to go left to go to Cicalina. You're going to pick up rain from there all the way up to Church Road, out to Oak Tibby. Not a good time to be fishing. Hold off on that. We do have some heavier rains out in the Center Hill area. Not quite making it up to Chet's just yet, but just south of there on 495, we have some showers as we look at that. Out in Tumsuba, heavy rain from there over to the Wright Simmons store. A lot happening there. All quiet up in Lauderdale right now. Again, everything is south. This is the worst of what we've got going on here. Clark County, y'all hold the award for the heaviest of rain that we've got. Let's look at our friends over here in Alabama. And they have canceled that just a little bit early, that tornado warning that was over here. Now, I'm not telling y'all that around New Bern and Greensboro that the weather is over. I am letting you know the great news that the tornado warning has expired a little bit earlier. They had that listed until noon, and they've paused on that. Tracy Edwards, how are you doing? Brian Troy, good to see y'all. UWA, a light sprinkle across the campus at this point. But again, when you get down near, I want to say it's Lake Louise right there. Heavy rains in that area there all around the high school also. We start to see that it's shaping up not as bad down in the Laurel area. Why does the Laurel area matter to you? That's usually what comes up and comes into Clark County's back door. Shibuda, right now, y'all are fine. A little light shower there at the Dollar General. Y'all are doing okay. We look back over here to Brookhaven, some showers there. But, maybe this is going to shape up better than we thought. We certainly hope so. We wait for more updates from the National Weather Service. Let me go back over so I can read 2 or 3 things at once and just kind of keep up with what happens here. Zone forecast. Let me just open that up, and I'm going to let y'all look at radar. Still having that Storm Prediction Center have the same locations. Tornado potential still appears the greatest across parts of western and central Alabama in the short term. And what they're talking about in this area that we're watching, let me show you here what we're talking about right here. As you watch this is the area that has the greatest potential, the Meridian area, Clark County, Jasper County, and then as it gets on into Alabama, that is the greatest potential that they're showing in the state of Mississippi at this point. It has not changed. We don't have any. We are under a tornado watch. As you'll look here, we're under a watch until 5 p.m. this afternoon. We do hope all of this blows away and it turns out well and fades away into no man's land. That's what we want. Denise, we are hoping that's what happens. It's kind of iffy there. We're watching this to see if anything will fire back up after this. Leaning towards it could be dying down for the greatest potential of threat passing now. That's what we're hoping. We're going to keep our fingers crossed on all of this. Let me go back and I'm leaving radar where everybody can read this while I glance over other things that are going on. Forecast. Look at the zone forecast of what they're giving for the Meridian area. The latest that we're getting from the National Weather Service is for the rest of the day, showers and a chance of thunderstorms late this morning, and then thunderstorms likely this afternoon. Some thunderstorms may be severe. Near temperatures in the mid-70s, south wind 10 to 15 with gusts of 30. We've been seeing that. They're keeping that rain chance at 90% there as you move into tonight. Thunderstorms likely. Some thunderstorms may be severe late this evening. Cooler with lows into the upper 50s the further this goes later into the day, which tells us that we could have some more stuff trying to develop out in this area here as we look at this. But again, they've kind of redirected everything and putting this area here to where it was more to it. They're really focusing on this area right through here and on into Alabama for the rest of the day. It was a wider variety, and it closely follows this. A few counties less than what's under this. This is to be extra precautious here from West Point down as we look at this. Let's look and see if anything has changed here. Sometimes they update, sometimes they don't. That's still the same. Nothing has changed on all of that. All right, let's look at what we've got. Let's turn this off. Let's look at what we've got in damaging wind patterns of what's going on out there as we pull this up on radar. So if you live in Clark County, y'all know exactly. Portions of Lauderdale County is felt a lot of wind. We've had a lot right out here in the West Lauderdale area, that eastern side of Newton County. And as you look at the west-southwest corner right there coming into Newton County, a lot of it. But from Quitman, pretty much northeasterly angle all the way across Clark County has had strong winds this afternoon. Those wind gusts, y'all have felt them. That's what that's about there. All right, let's turn that off. And let's go back over. Let's look at our hail and see what's going on with hail with this. Not really a lot happening with that. As you'll see here, we had a little bit down here south of Pennington, but we've been fortunate on that to where we hadn't taken a pelting. So if there's a silver lining, I guess it would be that we're not getting a lot of the hail. I don't think any of us are going to complain over that at all. But as we still watch this right here with Clark County, the tornado watch and also a flash flood warning still in effect. And this is just slow moving here. Right there, just not much going on with it, is it? Elizabeth, how are you doing there? A lot of wind around the Quitman and Harmony area, Melanie Howard says. Linda Payne watching us from the big city of Lauderdale, Mississippi. Y'all don't be having no more accidents up there now. Nothing going on there. Let's go back and check on our power situation to see if anything new is developed on that. Let's go up here and take a look here at what EMEPA has for us. Let's do a refresh on this to make sure I've got the latest on this of what's going on. 414 in Lauderdale County is what we're showing without power. Let me see if I can get an answer on this as we look at this. We sent a text to EMEPA to see what they could tell us of what the crews were doing. They were still waiting out the storm to find out more about this as we look where the power's out. Many of you still watching in the dark, those areas there? Adam, how are you doing there? Bud McDonald, good to see you there. You watch that Carmen Douglas. I see she's watching. Y'all watch her now. Good girl. Used to work with her. Vossburg, just to the east of you, about 6 folks without power. And as we'll see here, right here on Highway 45, we got a couple of people, a couple of meters there without power there, just north of Quitman as we look at this. But that huge, right here in the Meridian area, sitting in the dark, Highway 19. Y'all remember that old, who's that, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, Fishing in the Dark? Well, that's what's going on out there. All this way here, Will Wright Road, out Highway 496. Heard another downpour outside. I can see it through the window coming down Old Wire Road without power, and this cuts across all the way over to Jeff Davis School Road. As we'll see here, on up to this area here, Freedom Baptist Church Road. So we got a lot of that in those areas there without power. All right, let's see here what else we got going on. Let's see here, updates. Let's go back over here. Starting to see a little, this is slowly moving across as we look at Clark County. Y'all are catching it. Let's check back in on our friends in Alabama also. Let's go back to Meridian Honda radar and pull this up. All right, let's zoom in and take a few looks, and we're going to look at Alabama as well as we look at Clark County. All right, just south of Quitman, let's look at what y'all got going on right now. Look at the lightning that is happening here in this area. This is the most that we've seen at one time here in the last little bit. Susan, not so bad for you. You're watching there from the Enterprise area. We sit up here by the Dollar General, down to Long's Fish Camp, Piggly Wiggly, heavier rain. But this is where we're really concentrating on what's going on there. We've had lightning strikes all through here. We've got a lightning strike about 8 minutes ago here. This is going to be right along Highway 18 here that leads you into the lower south part of Clark County. Now, this is headed toward Quitman. It will be there within 5 minutes. And if you'll notice this fan, how this is going to come in. This is going to come in right across the railroad tracks is how this will do. East Church Street, y'all are going to get a lot of rain with this as it moves up 512 across Highway 45 in that area and cuts across right across there to where Pearl Grove is, where the high school is, Quitman Junior High School. All of that area there is where it's going to be the heaviest. Now, the east side and south side of Quitman will be okay, but that's where the main portion of this storm is that's moving in toward downtown Quitman. As you'll see here, we're starting to see lightning there as well a little bit there. This is kind of old, about 12 minutes ago. The front edge of this storm getting out by Clarko. Let's see when that lightning was hitting. About the same time, it was a lot of hits right around between 11:48 and 11:53. We had a lot of lightning strikes come to the ground and hit. All right, now what this is going to do, as you see here, here's Harmony. This is going to come across right here at the Methodist Church. It's going to cross Highway 18. The center of the storm will be just to the west of the co-op as it makes its way across there, and cross Highway 45 just south of where the Clarko State Park is. Make its way back out. Energy, y'all just can't get enough of this today. And then eventually this will end up back in eastern Lauderdale County as well and cross Highway 19 then on into Alabama. Anywhere from picking up at Southeast School all the way to the state line. If you're in that eastern side of Lauderdale County, you live in there, get your galoshes on. Get those mud boots out because it's pouring on y'all. A lot of rain and it just will not go away. Mary Lynn said that they've gotten 4 inches, that rain gauge showing 4 inches in the Wyandotte area. And it's not over yet. That's a lot. Tylertown, Alabama. How are y'all doing? All right, we just got a message. Let me see here what we have. EMEPA says they have several scattered outages. The largest is in the southeast area, affecting about 400 members. A crew is on the ground now in the southeast area. It's lightened up enough to where EMEPA could make it out here in this area. That'd be right along in here. As you can see, the rain is lightened up, allowing the crews to come in here and start looking for that problem. And it goes on out Highway 496, that area. But anywhere from the Boy Scouts, and if you're standing there at the four-way stop, right around where Charlie's is, Southeast School, and I think there's also a convenience store there looking back to the east there toward Alabama. It's heavy rain all the way past Rodney's there. Long Creek, y'all are getting dumped on there. Causeyville, Long Creek actually it broke up there. Collinsville is what we've got with the most rain here out at the ball field. If you look at this, where it all kind of intersects there at Collinsville. Collinsville Road, Collinsville Wynot Road, and Benville, Collinsville. They just couldn't come up with different creative names, so they named it all the same. Never get lost, do you? That's what we've got there. And still heavy rain happening there at the Collinsville Baptist Church also. Y'all got a lot of showers coming down as you move across the rural route through here. McRae Lake, pouring rain there also. As we look at all of this area. Over here, Water Valley Church, Antioch Cemetery. Old Highway 19 Southeast, which will lead you up there to Jeff Davis School Road, all of that area still got a lot of rain. And again, we don't have warnings at this point. We're still watching this heavy rain. I thought it was well worth us kind of watching this afternoon and giving you an update as to what we are, of what we've got going on. Things have calmed down quite a bit. Now, everybody here in the Quitman area around downtown Quitman are going to continue to get some heavier rains. We don't have any warnings that are right in this area here. We do, before we get off, let's go over here and just look at this. We do have a new tornado warning that has popped up. This is going to be past Greensboro. If y'all remember Centerville area there, y'all have a tornado warning. And let's look at this. This is Zimmerman, Alabama. The heart of this storm, pretty big there. 81 mile an hour shear winds moving in. And this is going to be affecting. Let's look at these areas here where it will contact with here in the next little bit. If you live anywhere near Jericho, Ellards, Adler, Harrisburg, and Folsom, Alabama, take cover now. This is a tornado warning that is in effect until 12:45 this afternoon. Another 40 minutes remaining on this. That's Brent, Alabama, for our friends over here to the east of us. Right now, we got just some heavy showers occurring here in Lauderdale County. In the eastern side, Clark County. We'll watch this carefully. We'll monitor when all of the weather and the electricity gets turned back on. Thank y'all for joining us. We do appreciate y'all so much. We'll follow this. I'll be here behind the scenes throughout the day watching this. And as always, you can inbox us with any questions, anything that you have going on in your area as we watch this. Thanks for dropping by. And as always, we're here for you. And a big thank you as we roll into 2023. I cannot thank y'all enough for allowing us to be a part of your family, of your headline news, choosing us and making us your first choice for weather. There's so many of you that do that daily. The word is spread, and blessed we are. And it's all thankful to you that have brought this to you. And many thanks to our sponsors that get behind us and help us. Helps us get better equipment and do more in the community. We appreciate that so much. Sarah, how are you doing? Thank you. I appreciate that. As I said, we'll be back. We'll be here watching the weather for you. Don't forget, we'll be having that new show coming up the 16th of January. We're moving it from 8 a.m. to 7 a.m. on Fox. Hope you'll join us here at YouTube and as well as on Facebook. And we also carry it live if you want to watch. If you're one of those Twitter fans, you can also watch it there. But we'll be moving the live show to 7 a.m. And that doesn't mean you can't watch it anytime you want to. You can. But if you like to interact with us and be a part of the show, join us live beginning at 7 a.m. on the 16th. And we will have a new co-host, as I mentioned. Candace is stepping back, going to spend some more time at home and do some more things. Her plate is full. And we've been hinting and teasing about who's coming. And I think a lot of you have figured out who that's going to be. We'll throw up some more little hints later if it hadn't hit you yet. But we'll do that. Lacey, how are you doing? Thank y'all. God bless you, and we'll be here throughout the day watching the weather behind the scenes for you. Thanks so much.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.